Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Crimi-trent and today we're going to paint loose, simple fall watercolor flowers. And what you want to do to get started is get a good piece of paper. I'm using Arch's 100% cotton cold press. It's in a pad. It's a little loose pad. It's not one of those tight pads. I have my colors over here. You can mix a variety of dark plums and oranges and reds, and some browns and blacks, dark greens, light greens, etc. I mean, use the palette that you think that works best for you. And a variety of brushes. I'll start off with this Windsor and Newton Cotman series, 8-inch round. And always have a paper towel close by my, you can't see it, it's over here in the right hand corner, right under my paints, because you want to sometimes take the paint off your brush. And when you're cleaning it, you use it to take off the paint. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is make a focal flower in the page. And generally want to keep it like a dark shade. That's the focal flower. I think we're going to start with like a plum reddish color. And I'm going to make the outside edges fairly loose, which means a lot of water. This paper, because it's cotton, is very thirsty, which means it soaks up the ink. It doesn't really spread that much. So I'm just doing these back and forth lines, as you can see, like this. Not touching the middle, kind of going around in a circle, but not touching the middle. You want to keep that open. You can have them touch, or you can have them not touch. Kind of like a rose, watercolor rose, but not really. And then as that's drying, we move on to leaves and other flowers. So I have a medium toned green. It's got some yellow and some brown in it. And you want to push the leaf away from the flower. It doesn't have to be perfect. That's the whole point of having loose flowers. Now I showed a video how to make leaves. You should check that out, and I'll have the link here. But these don't have to look realistic. You're pulling just color from the flower. Next thing you want to do is take a really dark color. You can use the same brush. Just use the pointy part of it. And pull some lines out. Crisscross it here, here. Just have fun with it. Go up over here, around over here. Then you want to take your yellow, make a circle, dab like a circle. You can add a little bit of orange on the end. It will bleed a little bit. Here we're going to make like a daisy, and I'm going to use very, very light gray. And don't touch the yellow part, because you know what will happen. It's going to bleed into it. So you're making petals out from the yellow. Just pushing the paint out. Trying not to touch the yellow. If it does bleed, it's no big deal. It dries, you can go back to it. So it's like a sweeping motion. You're going from here, sweeping out, here, pushing down, sweeping out. I gave you the technique when I do the leaves in the leaf video, how to push down, pull out. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. Flowers in nature are not perfect. Pushing down and pulling out, pushing down and pulling out. Some can touch, some can be separate. Oop, see? Too much black. Now I'm going to remove that. Kind of like a mop. You take your brush like a mop, you push down on it, soak it up, touch the paper towel, go back with the water, push down on it, pull back up, hit the paper towel and grab the water. There. That mistake is gone. And it's a little darker again. So again, kind of do like adding more water or taking it away. Sometimes it's easy to work with watercolor and sometimes it's not. The gray is tricky because you want to get it, it's basically black paint, but you don't want it black. You want it gray. So you're using more water. So we're going to let that dry also because you see it's starting to bleed in here. I'm going to grab some brown. Just make some lines out this way. There's no rhyme or reason to it. Same thing this way. And over here. Sometimes when you're doing flower paintings, you want like 2 or 3 of the same floral for symmetry. So I will put another yellow circle here, because I'm going to put another daisy up here. Again, with the gray. Just going from here, but don't touch, and pushing out, pushing out. You can make the leaves pointy like this, or not, or add a little this way so it's more open. And they can touch and overlap. Because, you know, not all daisies are perfect, have perfect leaves. And I don't do it all the way around like this, like you would see, because it's not natural. The leaves are, when you buy flowers, sometimes they're like that, but they're kind of mushed around. Again, pushing out from the inside out. It's bleeding a little bit, but not too bad when that dries. Now you want to add some orange because it's supposed to be a fall painting. And this is just fun. You just take the brush and you just make these little lines from the little stem and dots on top. So they could look like mums or just some funky random flower. It just doesn't really matter. It doesn't have to be perfect. Again, over here, you can mush the lines together, put the dots on top. Then you're going to take a dark, very dark green, add some leaves or just color, wash it in here so it looks like a leaf but doesn't have to. See, you're just pushing down a color like a blob almost. It doesn't have to look like a leaf, it just has that connotation that it is one. Just filling in. You want to give the painting some dimension by adding the darks. Now it bled into this leaf, so I'll go back in and I'll take off the color off my brush and grab some water and go on that and see how I'm mopping it up. Just mopping it up. If it stays there, well, it's no big deal. But you keep taking the paint up and touching your paper towel and mopping it up like a mop. Now I'm going to grab this almost chartreusey green paint that I mixed over here. You can see right here. And that's what yellow, a lot of yellow, and some light green. Again, making some simple, fun leaves. Just playing around. there shouldn't just be one tone of green in your paintings. You need to have multiple tones. I'm going to go back in and grab that dark green again. Some lines of crisscross over here. I'm going to grab that plum color again. Just make some blobby looking flowers up here and over here. And down here. Almost looks like berries, if you want to say that. And over here. Now I'm going to go back into this first flower with that and add more layers of color. Just doing simple brush strokes around in a circular motion. Again, I'm going to let that dry. I want to make it a little darker on one end, just to give it more dimension. I'm just on one side, so almost like the light is coming from this way, and that part is in shadow. So therefore, all the flowers should feel the same way, and the leaves. So the ends of the flowers on this side and this side should be darker. Maybe it was a good thing the green bled because it's supposed to be a darker petal. So I'm adding a deeper gray into the petals here. Just little strokes. Some can like highlight the edge and some can just be in the middle. Highlight the edge, little middle. Highlight the edge. Oh, it's a little dark. Take some of that color away. Again over here. Highlight the edge and little strokes in the middle. It's going to dry lighter because it's watercolor. So what you may think is really dark, black, gray will actually end up being the value that you're looking for. In the center of these yellows, I'm going to add a deeper yellow. Just dots, like you would see on a daisy flower. Dots. And then I'm going to add an orange to that, just on that one side. And I'm going to add the deeper orange to the orange flowers we have here, just in the bottom part. And leaves can be fine just the way they are. If you want to add some lines, veins, you can go ahead and do that. Doesn't necessarily need it. But that also can make it have some more variety. And I'm going to take this brown, put some more lines here, and I'm going to pull the lines out like a little branch you see there. I'm putting a branch, okay, if you can't see that, there we go, the branch. And I'm going to put another branch up here, just in line with leaves, more lines, I'm sorry, attached to it. And the ends of that, do like a nice red color. It can be bright. Still like red berries. Just dabbing dots. Down over here, maybe add some more orange. Playing around with it. This part's still wet, but I think I'm going to go ahead and add my middle part. It's going to be very dark plum, almost like a black plum. You're adding black to plum. And here, I'm just going to stroke upward. Little dots. Yeah, it's bleeding. It's a little too wet still, but that could be cool. And a little black to that purple. Giving it dimension that we're looking for. It might still bleed out, but you get the idea. Again, this is a little wet still. I can see it's still wet, but you just add in the black closer to the edge of the center. Because see how that was dark before, but it dried fairly light. And this one too. Just towards the center. Here it seems like it's floating, so it needs like a branch or a leaf behind it, or a stem. And just keep adding till you feel like you've reached what your effect that you're going for. I just keep playing around with strokes and dabs. It's fun. And this, my friends, is a very simple fall watercolor painting. Didn't take much time. It was easy to paint. Oh, it's a little too green. I'm gonna have to add some orange. Over here. And there you have it. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. Just get out your paints and your brushes and play. I just use a simple one brush, Windsor and Newton, the Cotman series, number 8. I mixed a bunch of paints and colors that I liked that I wanted for fall. I got a good quality paper though. I got the Arches 100% cotton cold press paper. A lesser paper might not have the same effect. It might bleed more on the edges. And you know, it's just playing. If you don't want to spend the money on the expensive paper, I would suggest you play with the cheap student grade Canson for a while so you get used to just strokes and then go and buy the paper and then do it. So I hope you like what you saw, and please like and subscribe, and thank you for coming to my channel.